Hi, Helena.
Hello, Adam.
And wow, that really threw me. I was waiting for, hi, Adam. And that absolutely threw me.
Is that illegal?
I don't know. We're going to go with it. And now I literally am left going, what do I say next? Because it's such pattern. We've done like 35, 36 something episodes of this. So we've got it down to a fine art. And you've gone and thrown my timing. I don't know what I say now. What do I say now? Hi, Helena. Hi, Adam. And hi to all of our listeners. That's what I say. Oh my God. Wow. You can tell it's been a long day when I've forgotten even what I say next. So you're going to have to bail me out. Helena, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Helena Dix. I am an Australian soprano, recently moved back down under after 22 years abroad, but that won't stop me. I love to cause havoc on international stages and local stages. Let's not forget those. I sing high notes. I love to laugh. I love to cook. I love to go out with my dog, who is slowly adapting to the Australian sun.
My name is Adam Miller. I'm a former opera singer turned producer, writer and director. And Helena, you and I have had the great pleasure of working together in lots of different capacities. And now we work together in the podcasting capacity. So hooray for that.
The podcasting capacity. I love that. That's an official term.
I think that's what it should be. The more I listen to, the more that people are falling into just calling them pods now. Oh yeah, the pod.
Oh,
the pod. I recognize you call it the poddy. You will occasionally on voice notes go, yeah. So what are we doing for the poddy? And I'm like, the poddy. Could that be any more Australian? I don't feel like anyone else in the world is going to be like, oh yeah, doing a poddy.
You want to come on my potty? All the international people will be like, what the fuck?
It feels like a shoey. You can do a shoey on the potty.
Or a Yui. You can do a Yui on the potty.
You pull a Yui after you've done a shoey on the potty. Yeah, we're done. That's it.
It takes me so long to describe Australian lingo to foreign people. And
yes.
When everyone's like, but arvo, servo, bottle, like we don't understand. I'm like, look, it just is, okay? Like, it's just what happened.
And people think that it sits in this world between it's cute and slightly deranged, because lots of people I speak to really go, oh, it's kind of cute, the whole thing, where you go, oh yeah, uni and stuff like that. And then they're like, just say the damn word. What is wrong with you? And of course, we do it just so naturally. I don't even think about that stuff.
Yeah, true.
But other people have no idea what we're talking about half the time. And now they're going to learn about the potty.
There was a word the other day that someone used around my hubby the other day, my British husband, and was it like spewing or something?
Spewing.
And I can't remember. Yeah. And he was just like, what? And it's so wonderful coming back now, because, all the locals use words that maybe I haven't used in quite a few years too. And I'm even learning new ones. So
what have you learned? Yeah. I'm going to put you on the spot. What's happened since you've been gone?
No, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I guess they're kind of like more modern terminologies. Like some of my students will say something and I'll just smile and then like Google search it later. Like
your students are there
like
going,
really cool.
6, 7.
Oh, yes.
Oh, God.
Someone did.
No, what?
Someone did that the other day, one of my teenage kids that I work with.
Oh, my God. No, you're like, okay, we'll go from bar, 6, 7? And they're like, 6, 7.
Yeah, and then she did this like hand thing and I was like, I don't know what
really?
that is.
I've never seen it in the wild. I've done it ironically to annoy my children, and it has the desired effect. They're like absolutely mortified if I do anything that is vaguely pop culture-y. And I kind of know that, what was it? That's right. My oldest daughter went through a period years ago, to be fair, where everything would be slay. Slay. And I started doing it and it ruined it for her immediately. And she never said it again. It was fantastic. And so that's what you do. You've got to kind of own it. I think I saw on TikTok, this is, I don't know if I've said this before. So often I'll be scrolling through TikTok and I want to tell people about it, but there's a stigma attached to a grown man like me really being addicted to TikTok. And so I often find myself saying, oh, I saw on social media, or I was reading recently. And every time I say that, my wife will go, oh, so you saw it on TikTok? I'm like, maybe, yeah. But anyway, saw it on TikTok. A teacher was trying to break her students of it. She's a maths teacher. And so she made a maths exam with 67 questions, and each answer was 67. And she thought that they would love it, and they just played it absolutely dead straight because there was another teacher in the room who was assessing the class, and she'd worded up this other teacher. So she was kind of expecting a bit of raucous behavior, and the kids were like absolutely locked in and locked in. That's another one that kids use these days. Locked in.
Locked in.
And the kids were really focused on it. And she gets to the end of the game and go, why didn't you respond to that? I thought I was going to like break you of 6-7. And they're like, 6-7? Oh my God, we loved it, but we didn't want to get you in trouble in front of the other teachers. So we just thought you were too cool.
Bless.
I'm like, oh, that's lovely. But you've and she'd been building it up on her TikTok for ages, kind of going, I'm going to do this thing and I've got this question.
And thinking she's going to get this great reaction.
And she got nothing from him. It was great. It was great. Oh yeah, Locked In. I'd forgotten about Locked In as well. That's one. Oh, and Bonkers. I say bonkers a lot, but every time I say bonkers now, I always think of I can't remember the rap artist who performed it. I've forgotten it. I'll just edit this in later. It'll sound like I know it, but he did it.
I sound like you know.
Yeah, that's right. He did it at the London Olympics, and so he did the bonkers, and it was cool in the opening ceremony. It was fantastic. I've loved that. And so every time I say bonkers, that song just kind of plays in my head in the background because I have a mug that I have at work which says that my brain is 80% song lyrics. And that's a kind of an example of every time I hear these words, just that song lyric is just playing in the back of my head.
If you're addicted to TikTok, does that mean that you've ever bought something from a TikTok shop?
No, because I don't think we do TikTok shop in Australia.
Oh, do we not? Okay.
I think like you could, but then you'd have to bring it from the States or the UK or wherever it is. But
gotcha.
Yeah, I don't think we do it here because I see every once in a while people go, oh, this is on my TikTok shop, and I'm like, no, because you're a foreigner, and why am I going to buy this from you? I should buy this from a local purveyor of goods like Amazon.
Yeah, I didn't realize we didn't have it. Yeah, because quite a few of my friends do it in the UK, and I think I don't know. I feel very old, but I think it's like slightly outrageous. And I'm like, what are you getting? And what are the people selling? And why are they doing it through this?
Selling it? Are your friends selling stuff on the TikTok shop?
No. They're buying stuff from TikTok shops. Things like makeup and things like that.
Yeah, it's a great marketing platform. Like if you think about an algorithm that absolutely knows you, like my algorithm is so dialed into me. Like it is politics, it's humor, it's a little bit of like opera and classical music. What else? God, that's basically it. And so when other people tell me about what they see on TikTok, I'm like, I've never seen this. I have no idea what's going on in your world.
So what people should know is that you pressured me quite a lot into getting a TikTok.
I did,
because you did. And at first I went on it and then went off it again because it just shit me. It just really annoyed me. And then of recent times, I went on it and I uploaded a clip of mine just from a rehearsal, and it went like crazy, right? Like crazy, like millions and millions of views and all this stuff. And I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I thought, oh, well, I better keep it up, not be a one-hit wonder kind of like, I don't want to be like Rick Astley, like I want to actually,
And see, now in my head, all I hear is never gonna give you up. Yeah. 80% song lyrics, baby. Sorry. Yes.
So when I was in Adelaide recently doing Magic Flute, I decided they have all these like little things that they say. They're like, oh, go live for this and you'll get these like credit points and, all this kind of thing. And I'm like, I don't know what that means, but okay, like I'll try going live quite a few times. And they really encourage you as a
creator. You're a creator.
A creator. So I've uploaded quite a lot of my videos. That bit went well. Well, the live stuff scares me, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I had no idea what to expect. And I'm just like I've done Facebook Live before. I've done Insta Live before. TikTok Live is not the same.
Oh my God.
All right. So you go on and obviously you can see like all the names of the people who are logged on and watching you and they send you messages and stuff like that. That's fine. But the weirdest shit happens. So people go like, we want to be included on your video kind of thing. Like you have to. And at first I was like, well, what does that mean? Do they want to come and say hello to me? Oh, that'd be nice. Every freaking time it happens, and it happens a lot. It's like men, and all they do is they'd be like, hello.
Oh my God.
Hey, baby. Hey, and here's me thinking, oh, it'll be another opera singer, and they'll come on the page, and we'll have a chat. Because here's me like doing singing practice, and thinking, oh, no one's going to be watching this unless their algorithm is classical music and and opera. So here's me thinking, why would you get weirdos? Oh my God, so many weirdos. And I didn't at first I didn't understand how to like turn it off. And so it was literally
He's getting all these
like I'd
men
be like,
going, hey.
beep, beep. And I'm like, and so I'd click accept and then I go, hello, hi, and hello, baby. Or they just not say anything and just like bob their heads and watch you. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with people?
God. I had no idea.
So,
that's incredible.
Yeah. And it happens all the freaking time.
But now we know where you sit on someone else's algorithm. Like you have clearly got a weird fan base. So everyone listening to this podcast right now, we know that basically you're a bunch of weirdos. But we know you'd talk to us. And I like that.
Mark Cunningham.
So this is my experience of lives, right? When I see lives come up on TikTok and this says everything about me, it is mostly marble racing. Have you seen marble racing on TikTok?
What?
It is awesome. Literally, they will get like maybe 5 marbles of different colors and people build these intricate like courses where they just roll them down and you watch them and it is mesmerizing. And I'm there going, come on, blue, come on, blue. And then like blue may not win, but I've got like chicanes and little things and they do jumps. And it's awesome.
Adam,
no, you'll never stop
deep
me.
Breath, mate.
I really may have revealed way too much about myself.
Yeah. So that put me off a lot. Yeah, and actually, like, what was nice was in the comment section, you had like quite a lot of like opera fans and they were saying, oh, what repertoire do you do? And they were talking about the shows and they'd be from all around the world. And that was really nice. And, your voice reminds me of such and such. And that was nice. Like I actually really like chatting to people and talking about technique and repertoire and that's kind of nice. I don't mind doing that. But then these weird asses who want to be on, and it just keeps coming up. It's so fucking annoying. They're like singing beep, beep. And then finally I learned that if you click a certain button, you can shut it down for like an hour or something, so they can't do it for an hour. And then, one time I was like really into live streaming and I had these fantastic comments going on and I was in the South Australian Opera rehearsal studio and I was talking about my preparations and everything, like just loving it. So it was quite a long time that I was doing it. And then it starts coming up again and I'm literally like, I literally start swearing. I was like, sorry everyone, but it's annoying me.
And there was no one there to quack you.
Exactly. Yeah. And there was no one there to quack me, but everyone wanted to just bop their head and watch me sing. What the hell is wrong? Like, what?
Oh my God.
So anyway, that's me and TikTok. So I've stopped doing the kind of the live stuff, although I earned money and I was like, I earned money?
What?
Yeah. And because one of my videos went so viral and I don't know, something to do with me live streaming. And I was like, what? And then I go on and it's like, you have $3.83 in credit. And I was like, well, I have clearly arrived. Like this is clearly the height of my career right here,
There you go. So you could leverage that. That's amazing. So we've established that you've got a fan base of weirdos. Am I risking our sanity, our life, and our limbs if I suggest that we should do a listener question episode? What do you reckon?
Yeah, we should. Absolutely. People should be able to write in and give us questions to ask for sure. Should we put it out there now?
In a self-addressed stamped envelope?
Yes. Do you know that these people still exist where they write to you as a singer and they will put like a picture of you in an envelope? No, I kid you not, this still exists. I mean, it used to happen a lot more in the olden days than it does now. But I still get these where they'll be like, Ms. Dix, I'm an opera fan, I'm a collector. And what they do is they'll print out a picture of you, like a headshot publicity photo. They'll send it to you with self-addressed, stamped envelopes to return to whatever country it is and ask you to sign it to them and give it back to them. And it baffles me because it'll be when every 2 or 3 contracts I turn up somewhere around the world, I will get one of these letters sent to me. So someone will obviously see my schedule, send it to the Opera House. It comes, Helena Dix via, Brussels, like, or, wherever I am. And it's just... And it's not the same guy. Well, it is the same guy that he keeps changing his name.
It's just one guy and it's your picture just plastered all over his wall. There's nothing else but you.
Yeah, I mean, he could have worse taste, to be fair. But, I definitely get that sometimes. So,
Oh my
no,
God.
obviously not.
What
in
kind
a
of superstar
self-sabotage.
are you though? Like you're making money off TikTok, you're getting people sending headshots to you to sign. Oh my God. Who are you? This is bonkers. Come on.
This is bonkers.
Bonkers. Oh, jeez.
Look, it's fun. It's funny, isn't it? Sometimes you do a little bit of a reality check from time to time. I mean, obviously, opera is not pop culture and everything, but I think sometimes it's just so easy to forget. Like I'm just me, and I just go about things and do things, and then I'll have a chat with someone, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, Helena Dix just wrote to me," or like. I do a lot of stuff on Instagram where I follow a lot of young singers and especially young Australian singers who, I really want to be on their team and helpful if I can. Not all of them, but ones that I'm that I feel invested in. And when they win a competition or if they've done really well, like I'll watch their stuff and I'll reach out and I'll write to them. One was like, OMG, did like the real Helena Dix just write to me? And, and in my head, I'm like, is she taking the piss? Like, is she? And then I realized, no, she's actually been quite genuine. Helena, shut the hell up and appreciate the compliment. But it is funny. Like I'm traveling up to Sydney on December the 11th to do a masterclass with MOST, who are this fantastic corporation who do a lot of sponsored events for young singers. So it's the IFAC Big Hansa singing competition.
Oh my God, you've just said so many letters. So MOST is the...
It's because I don't want to say
Or you could say the actual name. You could say the actual name of the thing.
I don't know the name. Yeah.
But you've got to know what those letters stand for. You can't just be going and working for these people and knowing what all the letters are. So you clearly know what they are, right?
Of course. It's the Music and Opera Singers Trust, but that takes a long time. Us Australians don't have long enough in our day, as we talked about earlier.
It's because you'd call it like the Trusty, the Mosty.
The Musy, the Musics.
Mosto. What about your IFAC? What's that? Apart from IFAC, which I can say and I don't even have to bleep out or I don't have to quack out.
I think it's the International Federation of...
No. It is the International Foundation for Arts and Culture.
Well, you learn something new every day.
There we go.
Anyway.
The International Federation of, I don't know.
I don't even know. I can't even remember where I was going with this whole thing. But anyway, so now that we've established who they are, I was just saying that I'm going up to Sydney on December the 11th to do a masterclass for the Music and Opera Singers Trust. And yeah, I'm really thrilled that they've asked me to go up because we've been chatting about this for a while, and they've just had the finals of the Hansa Australian singing competition, which the Melbourne
the IFAC.
Met. So yes,
there we go, the IFAC.
Stop it. Yeah, which they've just had, and then as a kind of not as a counter to that, they've now got these masterclasses, which is great. And I'm working as the maestra, as they call me. And the idea behind it is pretty cool. It's basically not only working with the singer, but also working with their chosen repetiteur. So one of the things that they really want to do is not just bring up the young singers through, but actually build up young repetiteurs to want to do these jobs. Because let's face it, if we look at Melbourne, for instance, there are a limited amount of really great repetiteurs that people would call on, to either do coachings or to use in recitals and things like this. And they tend to be older and more established, and of course because they build that name, but they're really keen on getting young, really passionate young repetiteurs involved as well. So they've got a whole lot of young repetiteurs coming in, one each, to work with each of the singers from the Sydney Con, which I think is really great. And they've asked me to do this masterclass, which will be recorded and put onto their YouTube channel because they have a YouTube channel for it. And they did this particular one, I think 4 or 5 years ago, but they brought in a repetiteur and a singer, but they wanted to combine it to just have the one musician come in and work with them both. So that's what I'll be doing on the 11th of December, which is really exciting. And so they're flying me up to do that. And I have 4 young singers that I'll be working with and with their repetiteurs.
Yeah. And so 4 separate repetiteurs?
Yes, 4 separate repetiteurs, separate singers and working with them as a unit and obviously discussing all the regular things that I would discuss in a masterclass, but also on the connection with the repetiteur and how important it is and how they can help a singer and not just follow or not lead or, like how it's a unity of work. And I think it's especially important when you're a repetiteur or a singer really who gets paired with someone that maybe you don't work with on a regular basis. And, all of us have to go in and do auditions or things like this when we're younger, especially, where how do you do that? So as a singer, how do you lead in a positive way? As an accompanist or a repetiteur, how do you give advice or be the most helpful to a singer if perhaps you don't know much about the voice or do you? People come at being a repetiteur from so many different fields. There are some repetiteurs who are pianists first and then, or maybe they're conductors or some who are language experts or whatever. It's a really variable field actually.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited that they're trying to do that.
Yeah. So what advice would you give just off the top of your head? What are you listening for straight away from a repetiteur?
I guess I'm so many things. Sensitivity to the kind of voice that they're working with. So being able to listen and know what's too loud or too soft, what kind of timbre and colour, not only for the style of what the singer's doing, but also for that particular singer. So is the singer dramatic? Are they spinto? Are they lyric? Do they have a smaller tone, a bigger tone? Is the overtones, like if you can really listen, is it that you need more warmth in the piano in certain registers to match the voice? These are the things like someone who's really listening should be able to do, especially if they've had a rehearsal, which they will have had. And that's just kind of general housekeeping really. And then of course, like in the sense of following and listening and how to be helpful to a voice in a positive way. So, like a singer will be like, oh, you hear singers be bitches all the time about, oh, they were playing too slow or, they didn't do this or that. And I was like, well, often it's your fault because you're supposed to lead. But of course, it does come from the other side too. So there is, it does work both ways, I think.
I love a repetiteur that breathes with their singers. Like I find that it's almost a different level of repetiteur, one who is often has singing in their background in some way, shape or form and understands the significance of breath within phrasing. I love seeing that when you see those relationships on the concert platform.
And I think too, and this sounds a bit daggy, but I often think that if an accompanist or a repetiteur, whichever way you want to brand it, is just all about themselves, that comes across very, very heavily.
Yeah, worked with a few of those in my time.
In competitions.
Yeah.
In competitions as well. Mm-hmm. And you can see it because all they're doing is just trying to get by on their own, but they're not listening at all. And there's such a different art form to playing piano to being a good accompanist and repetiteur, especially with a singer.
Yeah,
it's
well, that's why they're called collaborative artists these days. Like you talk about associate artists, you talk about collaborative artists. It's a different way of thinking. Going, yep, you're just there to accompany me. No, you're not. You're there to collaborate, and I love that. I love finding repetiteurs who do think of themselves as collaborative artists.
And I always thought when I was younger that it was practice. Like I always thought that if I practiced with them a lot, that was the key to working well with someone. And in my old age, it's absolutely not.
Really? Okay.
Yes, and I say that because I recently, and I'm quite happy to be honest in saying this. I quite recently did the Australian premiere of my bel canto recital here in Australia in Adelaide, and Anthony Hunt, who's the head of music.
Do I have to quack out his name?
No. I will quite happily say this. Who works up for South Australian Opera. He was my accompanist. When I got up there for Magic Flute, he was so busy. And don't get me wrong, we met a few times, but it wasn't much. It wasn't a lot. But I realized at first I was really grumpy because I wanted to rehearse and because I figured, well, we don't know each other. We don't know each other as musicians. We've never worked together. Like surely, rehearsing will be the best thing. And what I found really interesting was he was very businesslike about our first meeting. And he came in and he's like, right, what do you do here? Right, blah, 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 like marking his music. Right, good, 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 good. Da, 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 da. And I came away thinking, okay, like we didn't make much art or music, and it was very informative. And we had a couple of other rehearsals, but what I really strongly realized was how wrong I was about the fact that you have to rehearse for it to be collaborative or to make beautiful art. You absolutely don't. You need to have someone who is listening and is in it with you, like 200% in it with you, like understands the basic form of this is what we're doing. But then on the day, the sensitivity and beauty that he brought to not only to the understanding of my repertoire, but he was just wonderful. And there was something incredibly magic. And I kind of walked away thinking, well, that was weird because we didn't have a lot to do with each other. And I know a lot of like big names, they tour with their own repetiteur. And don't get me wrong, like that.
Oh yeah, that's a gift. Yeah.
If I was doing the Australian tour of my recital, which I do hope to do in the next few years, I would ideally love to bring someone, that knows everything completely and that I get to work with all the time, because it also just puts you at ease. There's something slightly unsettling about doing a really intimate recital, and it is a very intimate recital with someone that you've not worked with very much. And yet I thought to myself, oh my goodness, like in the heat of the moment, he was calm, he was beautiful, he listened, he reacted, he understood how my voice traveled, he understood sometimes when I didn't have to push him or feel like I was, working against anything. And it was magic.
That's fantastic.
I actually have to say, because I'm also a bit of a perfectionist, I find that a very rare quality to find in someone who shines when they need to shine, but doesn't try to take over things, like that understands that we're making music together. And in this, and I guess bel canto stuff is, getting onto the nerdy stuff, it's a little bit more led and driven by the singer. It's just the nature of what it is. If we were doing, German Lieder or a song cycle or something, that's a completely different kind of thing. But yeah, I found that really interesting. So, even coming from having done a recital recently and worked with someone in that space, I hope I'll have a lot to offer, for the people.
Great.
Yeah.
And I will not quack out his name. I think you've said nice enough stuff about him that we'll keep it in the episode.
No, you can, and I would say the same thing to him. It was fascinating for me, and then just I think sometimes, but I think it's the same as when you meet a colleague on stage, and just sometimes there's a magic about working with someone that you can't explain, and at the end of the day, I think that's music and that's theatre and that's the beauty of it. Same as an audience member, an audience member goes and they'll say, oh, I like such and such's voice, but not so much blah, blah. You can't always explain why you like a voice or why you liked a performance, but that's the beauty of it.
Usually because they'll send back the picture of themselves that you've asked them to sign. That's why you like the singers. I think we've established that. Your audience is people who are very visual and they just like to get their pictures back. That's all it is.
I really wanted to keep the stamps when he sent me this, but I didn't. I sent the picture back. I thought it was the right thing to do. Got into so much trouble. And that's happened to me so many times, but yeah, it's weird.
It's fantastic. I love that. You are proper famous in it. It's so good.
Can I also say that one of the things that I've been doing quite a bit since I got back to Melbourne is going and watching various young artist performances. And I've been to, you and I went to the Herald Sun Aria. I went to Melbourne Opera's Così fan tutte. I went to the Opera Scholars Australia, their final concert for the year as well, because I'm their patron now, and watched them as well. And it just fills me with such joy to see the passion and the hope in the next generation and what they're, the fact that all these opportunities weren't available when you and I were kind of knocking around and coming up through the ranks. And the fact that we've kind of gone full circle, and, that we were talking about this, I know, with Hobbo last week, and saying that, these opportunities, I know he's been doing this stuff with Victorian Opera, with Boojum, and Boojum's been about, Cossy's been about, BK Opera at the moment are doing Macbeth.
Yes. Yeah.
Really fascinating concept that Kate Millett has directed.
Interesting choice, yeah.
And can I just say, can we just talk about something?
Okay, when
everyone.
you whisper though, I can't hear you. Like you do this all the time. You lean into the microphone and then you whisper, and then I'm like, great, that's an hour worth of editing I have to do to try to get your voice back.
Okay. Can I just say, insert whisper here for dramatic context. I was speaking to Livia Brash, who is Lady Macbeth in BK Opera's production that's rolling at the moment. And because it just looks incredibly interesting. And I said to Kate Millett, who's directing, I said, can I please see some footage because I can't get out to see the show. Livia was telling me that in the production shots, she's got underwear on underneath the gown. But apparently in the shows, she's got nothing on. She's completely nude. And that's part of the kind of conceptual idea that she and the director kind of had together. But she said to me, no one's mentioned it in the reviews. And I said to her, I would just like to point out that if I ever did that, it would be mentioned in every review and no one would ever come back. So, if there are nipples floating on underneath there and she's happy doing high notes while she's got those out, then good for her. But I really, for a moment because, do you remember when we had Chloe Morgan on talking about the German concept stuff as well? And
that's right.
Talking about being naked in the back of her gown and all that kind of thing. And I was just like, it's going to happen one day. Look, someone's going to say something about one body part or something. It's just going to end maybe it's going to be my final hurrah. It's like, I don't know who'd be more scarred though. Actually, I tell you who would be the most scarred is the conductor down in the pit looking up. That's all I've got to say. That would not be a good visual.
The closest I've had to being naked on stage, I had to come on for I was playing Mazzetto in a Don Giovanni, and I had to run onto stage in just a pair of little tidy-whitey underpants and get dressed on stage. And that still traumatizes me because the amount of, I'm a very, very pale human, the amount of body paint that they had to put on me, I felt sorry for the team of artists that had to do that. So yeah, I think I'm pretty confident no one's going to ask me to do that again. Oh, in fact, oh my God, I was double cast with the fabulous Victor Rudd in a magic flute. And the director, because he's a beautiful specimen. The director went, oh great, and we shall drape him in this, and it'll be all this stuff. And so he was quite naked on stage, and then when he looked at me, he went, but we will cover this. This is okay, and that was it.
We will cover this,
right? And it was a good choice. It was a good choice.
Can I just tell you the best ever pale white man naked story? It is so good. So
is this another one of your TikTok lives?
No, it's not. It could well be, but it's not. So for the listeners that don't know, my brother Arnold Dix is quite well known for his international tunnel rescue and amongst various things. And he was recently nominated for Australian of the Year, which was amazing. But when he first came back from the rescue, there's a very famous Indian painter who asked if he could paint my brother's portrait. Okay. So, and they wanted to hang it in a gallery and everything. So my brother's like, yeah, cool. Like my brother's really up for stuff. He was really honored. So my brother being 60, or just over 60, very pale, slightly built white man, he went along for this first sitting for the painting. And this beautiful Indian man said to him, right, so there's the chair. I'd like you to just make yourself comfortable and you can just take your clothes off and put them to the side. And my brother rang me after this sitting. He was shrieking with laughter. And I said, what's so funny? He said, well, I didn't know it was nude. Like I really genuinely had no idea. He said, but I thought, oh, well, Arnold, come on. Like, you only live once. Let's give it a go. So he said the guy left the room, right? While my brother took his clothes off, and my brother comes back in and sits nicely on the chair and kind of fixes himself so you couldn't really, see too much. And the man comes back in and he goes, oh no, we can't have this. No, I'm really sorry. You're gonna have to put your clothes back on. And my brother said, I've never felt so humiliated in my whole life. He's like, because I didn't know why he was asking me to put my clothes back on. And the man then explained to him, he's like, I'm so sorry, Mr. Dix. He said, I've never seen a man so pale before. And I don't think I can find a paint that does that any justice because you're too white and translucent. So you either need to go out in the sun or I paint you with your clothes on. And my brother was like, right. Well, at least it wasn't anything else. So at least we're talking about the dull, soft whiteness that comes off my skin. Yeah, hilarious.
That's fantastic. Oh my God. All right. On that note, I think we might wrap it up. I think we've had a very good run so far without your doorbell or your dog interrupting. So I think we should quit while we're ahead.
Sure.
And we'll chat next week and bring fantastic things.
Okay. Nice one.
All right. We'll chat soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.